Most of the public goes about their day without giving much thought about what it takes to keep the people of Dumas and Moore County safe. But there are 50 employees of the Moore County Sheriff's Department who think our homes are a safe place and that our community is as safe as they can make it. This past year has been a tumultuous one for law enforcement across the nation, including Texas. We have taken for granted that we live in a rural area, and we believe the things that go on in the metropolitan areas don't happen here. But you might be surprised to hear some of the statistics for Moore County. There are 9 dispatchers with 3 on each shift. In a 12-month period from October 2015 to October 2016, dispatchers took 25,994 calls. The dispatchers not only take calls for the Moore County Sheriff's Office, but also for the Dumas, Sunray, and Cactus Police Departments, all fire calls, as well as 911 calls. Including the sheriff, there are 16 officers. At any given time, day and night, there are 2 to 3 deputies on patrol all over Moore County, along with others who are working at the sheriff's office. In that same 12-month period, deputies responded to 4,262 calls. In 2003, the deputies responded to only 1,320 calls, and in 2013, the number was 2,421. Since 2003, the number of calls responded to by Moore County deputies has increased by over 350%. Among the calls that are fielded daily are the typical traffic stops, but today's typical traffic stop is anything but typical. Deputies have to be prepared for anything. Nearly 1,600 traffic stops were worked during that 12-month period. 44 wrecks were worked or assisted. The deputies help motorists who have trouble. They are called to break up fights, domestic disturbances, assaults, as well as doing investigative work. Deputies for Moore County were involved in 9 car chases during the 12-month period as well. Not all were high speed, not all lasted for an extended period, but all chases can be dangerous and require great care, concentration, and split-second decisions by these men and women. Another thing that our deputies do is represent our county at funerals for other fallen law enforcement officers throughout the state. They do it to pay their respects to the families. They do it to represent the county. But mostly they do it to honor the courage and commitment their brothers and sisters possessed in being willing to give their lives serving the agency and the people they protected. Even though they don't actually know these men and women, there is a bond no one besides another law enforcement officer can understand. As they honor the one who has passed, they realize it could very well be them. They understand that the next funeral could be theirs, and that other officers will be there paying respects. There are 17 correctional officers, with 5 on each shift. 2 of those officers serve as bailiff for the judges and as courthouse security. Moore County correctional officers processed, and managed 1,305 inmates in that same 12-month period from 2015 to 2016. This is a high-stress job due to close quarters and a lot of critical paperwork that must be accurate to ensure the appropriate measures are taken. There are 5 ladies who work in the offices as bookkeepers and clerks. They keep the wheels of justice turning. The work they do helps the officers and jailers do their jobs. These ladies also are required to make sure the paperwork they do is accurate and timely. Then there are 2 very other important ladies who feed all the folks who are privileged to stay in Le Chateau, Moore County Jail. They come in early in the morning to make sure the inmates are fed, and they always have smiles on their faces. All of the personnel for the Moore County Sheriff's Office are critical for the department to run as it needs to. But there is another group that is important as well. They don't draw a paycheck for Moore County, but they are critical to the well-being of those who do draw that paycheck. They are the families. The families of these people watch them leave for their shifts. They kiss them goodbye, tell them they love them, tell them to be safe, and pray they will come home at the end of that shift. We are lucky that here in Moore County we haven't experienced the devastating incidents that have taken place in other places, but that doesn't negate the danger there. The threat is real, and it is a fact that an officer, jailer, or other personnel are in dangerous situations and are putting their lives at risk. Law enforcement personnel are required to receive training to maintain and sharpen their skills. The people who have chosen law enforcement as their profession take great pride in doing their jobs. In the past few years, there have been technological advancements that have been a real asset in this effort. Computers in the deputies' units allow for quick access to information that can be critical in assessing a situation and apprehending someone with warrants from other law enforcement agencies and understanding if a subject is considered dangerous. All of this enables them to do a better job and allows them to do it more efficiently, letting them get on to the next call that comes in. They have recently added body cameras. Much research was done on these, and the position of the cameras on the head of the deputy was chosen because it gives much more accuracy to what is happening. Cameras that are mounted on the chest only gather what is in front of the officer, while the ones mounted on the head get everything the officer looks at. This advancement has been extremely effective in assessing evidence and in protecting our people from false accusations. At the beginning, we said there were 50 employees in the Sheriff's Department. That isn't exactly right. There were 51. The last employee for the Sheriff is Lucifer, Luce for short, because according to his handler, Sergeant Field Deputy Brandon Jones, he is a Christian. Lucifer is the four-legged, drug-sniffing, suspect-tracking canine of Moore County. Lucifer was added to the force in February of 2013 at a cost of $8,500. He was trained in Czechoslovakia to Sergeant Jones, so Sergeant Jones has to give him commands in that language. He is trained to search for heroin, cocaine, marijuana, methamphetamines, and ecstasy. He is trained to track people by scent as well. Luce and Sergeant Jones take part in training with the Amarillo PD 16 hours each month to sharpen the skills and ability of this super canine. Some might think the $8,500 price was a lot for just a dog, but since Luce has been with the Moore County Sheriff's Office, over $800,000 in drugs and drug money has been confiscated. He has more than made up that cost, and he has been essential in taking dangerous substances and people off the streets to help put them where they belong. Moore County has an outstanding group of people and their families who we are proud of and who we want to express our gratitude for the job they do and for their dedication and their willingness to put themselves in harm's way to make our little piece of the world a safer place. Thank you isn't enough, but we truly thank you for all you do, and we thank your families for their support and their willingness to stand behind you in your efforts. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. God bless our law enforcement men and women.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do? Yeah, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you
Get in the apartment
and you had
Get in the apartment.
you go
Hey,
to
get over here, you in the white shirt.
golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get caught, then
get
you
in the
must
apartment,
get
1
cool.
second,
Bad
ma'am.
boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do?